change up, life isn't fair. It's how we made, huh? Now you aware. It's why you fear us, this why you scared. They over the hilltop, I see them right there. They'll wait for the kill shot, they'll sit and they'll stare. If we got a real shot for us, it's up there. We're hopeless if we stop, they'll kill us right here. Living in death's den, run through the best winds, storming the front gates. Whatever gets us in, whatever gets us over, whatever helps us win, whatever we must do. Rescuing our kids, as long as they get through it, don't matter if we live. God chose to bless you, I'll take all that death gives. I'm into this war in memory of dead friends, in hope of a new way when all of this death ends. Who can we call on? It's me and it's all y'all. We're here by our lonesome, nobody to fall on. Flesh in the dirt, fire to ashes. Fate getting closer every moment that passes. Running away, no one is there. No one to save us, nothing to spare. How can I change what? We landed here. It's not the same sons, this is despair. One of us came up, none of us cared. They want to change up, life isn't fair. It's how we made, huh? Now you aware. It's why you fear us, this why you scared. Show me a safe place, does it exist? It must be a wasteland where nobody lives, that nobody knows of, where nobody's been. Where we at is warfare, every kind you can get. What you can't get is real love and fucking respect. Set up for failure, a life of neglect. If none of us stand up, we'll live with regrets. If we rise, we might die, I call that a good death. What would I live for if I am oppressed? How can I raise up with the world on my chest? Who's gonna save us if you and I rest? They shoot us in cold blood when under arrest. Lock us in cold cells, consider it home now. Cut off from emotion, our feelings are stone now. Our buildings are blown out, the madness is so loud. It's dark and there's no sound, we gotta go now. Running away, no one is there. No one to save us, nothing to spare. How can I change what? We landed here. It's not the same sons, this is despair. One of us came up, none of us cared. They want to change up, life isn't fair. It's how we made, huh? Now you aware. It's why you fear us, this why you scared. The illness is prevalent, natives malevolent. Hunger, starvation now, no hope for a heaven sent. Kiss the babies goodbye, say I love you to wives. Grab your weapons, get your steps in, we gon' ride when it rises. The sun mean what when it's blinding your eyes? Put the wind to your back, leave them facing the sky. Put the pain in the dirt, raise your bloody fist high. Use your brain, do the work, strategize and survive. The rush of the dust up, the thrill of the gun buzz. The satisfaction of our reaction when there's no one to help us. The spoils of war, the hunger for more. The passion of how we smashing what we hate through the floor. The rage, the loneliness of dead on the page. To cleanse this land, gotta burn more than just sage. Crush the cage, body and soul unafraid. Kill them all and set them ablaze. No running away, no one is there. No one to save us, nothing to spare. How can I change what? We landed here. It's not the same sons, this is despair. One of us came up, none of us cared. They want to change up, life isn't fair. It's how we made, huh? Now you aware. It's why you fear us, this why you scared. Is that you won, you push yourself to your purpose, you persevere through the slums, maneuver smooth through the hustle, you careful making your runs, everyone packing pistols, stay safely behind your gun, make sure you got your own back, them busters run, don't end up doing long time, cause busters some, looks like loyalty's a thing of the past, and these gangster flicks and rap vids got y'all gas, so when the lead start flying, my guess is that's your ass, death will let no man pass, my circle is small and for the living, the strong and unforgiving, no nonsense, the driven, each one obsessed with winning. Settle for less is bullshit, I want it all. Take yours, cut it all up and give to the poor. Sit back, watch the fireworks and witness the war. At the day's end, I want more. At the end of the day, when it all goes away, nothing left to see here, nothing else to say. When the cloud goes up, put the playlist on, let the sound go up. got no time, cause I don't get no sleep, and I don't need help, only I can do me, and I'ma be fine, cause I wasn't born weak. See, the world ain't mine, cause I wasn't born meek, but I walk this planet for the things that I seek. I suffer in the gutter, push my being to the brink, create what wasn't there, bring life to what I think, blow my cloud in the air, keep my consciousness in sync, my instincts well aware, prepared to throw the kitchen sink, keep fighting till it's finished, till the whole shit sink, till I hit rock bottom, bounce back and reach peak, back in my proper placement, ready for shit I'm facing, still feeling alive, cause my heart's still racing, my mind's still moving towards the peace I'm chasing, tomorrow's not promised, so motherfuck patience. At the end of the day, when it all goes away, nothing left to see here, nothing else to say. When the cloud goes up, put the playlist on, let the sound go up. Till the clouds show up, when the cloud come down, put it right back up and fly. Put the cloud back up and fly. Put it right back up and fly. The blunt side roll, lift the cloud off my soul, and help me understand exactly where I'm supposed to go. Help me make a stand, know what I'm supposed to know. See through the facade, try to let my anger go. Life goes on, another show, another town, some other clowns, some other hoes, but the only thing that matters waiting on me back at home. Legacy building in the midst of menacing villains, murdering children like the killings becoming thrilling. The rush of bloodlust, women, baby, civilians. Land gon' become sand from all the graves that they filling. Bodies in the lake, other shake on the sidewalk. Yellow crime tape, nothing fake, no outline chalk. Just a kid meeting his fate, knowing his time gone. Bleeding out, hearing the screams of his crying grandma. Dying inside, cause she know that a grandchild gone. So there's nothing left to say. At the end of the day, when it all goes away, nothing left to see here, nothing else to say. When the cloud goes up, put the playlist on, let the sound go up. Till the clouds show up, when the cloud come down, put it right back up and fly. Put the cloud back up and fly. Put it right back up and fly. What is poppin', my people? We are back in the building. Salute to you for being here. Welcome to Shy Ill Reacts. I'm your host, Shy. And we are back at it like bad habits. Salutes to y'all. Appreciate y'all being here. All right? We chilling. We kicking it for a little bit. Right? Your boy's on zero sleep. Probably nodded off for an hour in my chair. That's about it. But we doing our thing. You know what I mean? Salutes to the chat. Right? Salutes to the chat. We paid attention to the trolls last night. Today the trolls gonna have to pay. So, you know, once they get clapped, they gone. If they want to talk, they're gonna have to power chat it. Salutes. If the power chat don't work, that's on them. Bet. All right. Salutes to y'all. I appreciate y'all being here. Let me get this earpiece out again. Moving half steam. We're a little bit earlier than everybody, or than Charlie's stream. All right, we're gonna hold off until I'm gonna keep refreshing that till they go live. All right, for now we're gonna go through the chat real quick. Salutes to y'all. I appreciate y'all being here. All right. Nobody needs to worry about how I am. Salutes. All right, let me get through this chat real quick. All right. Shout out the one and only Carolina in the building. Appreciate you. Shout out Peter. Right. Salute. Shout out Master Khalid. Appreciate you. Zoraida. Appreciate you. Ivan Castro said, Free Mayo. Salutes to you. Why though? So he could oppress your people some more? What are we talking about here? Salutes Rilo. Ivan, salutes to you. Jonathan Pantoja, salutes. Jonathan was in the Discord already ready to start clapping, Higgins. All right, he was ready to start clapping. Salutes. We in the building, all right? It's a beautiful day. Hope everybody's having a great day. It's Thursday. Hopefully tomorrow y'all catch that bag.
that whoever you work for owes you. Salutes. Oh, believe it. Zoraida got her ranch and her popcorn ready. That's for sure. There's no doubt about that. Shout out Ivan Livas. Salutes. Shout out Carlos Blanco. Analia, salutes to you. Y'all, salutes to you. How long till they live in Texas time? I don't know what you're talking about. Salutes. Salutes Chucky Chingon. Appreciate you. All right, we're going to go through the vertical side now. Shout out 030 North on the check-in. Usual suspects in the building. Right? Again, shout out Ivan Livas. Christopher Barajas, salutes to you. Hugo Alvarez, salutes to you, sir. Tyler Johnson, first live. What up, Shy? Salutes, bro. You caught a light one today. I'm taking it easy. I get to take the time off. I'm going to let y'all know how it's going to go in a second. All right, because we're getting closer to them getting it popping. Guerrero Plevada, Miguel Lopez, salute, Big Broski. Blessings as usual. Salutes to you, bro. I appreciate you. All right. Shout out Velez 408 on the check-in. Shout out St. Anthony Productions on the check-in. It hit different. Oh, yeah, right, and she got her fruit. She definitely got the fruit, the popcorn, and the ranches. She got blood on her ranch from yesterday. Charlie Webster and Jay, what time are they going live on Insta? They're going live in 15 minutes. All right, so this is how it's going to go, y'all. I am going to, when the time comes and she's live, I will continue to, or waiting for her to go live, I will continue to refresh this screen until she's live. I'll hit the live, and then I will put her live as the full screen, and I will not be reacting live while we do it. You know what I'm saying? So I'll be in the chat with y'all. So I'll get to hang out with y'all today. Salutes. Shout out Young Pink. Appreciate you. Carlos Blanco says 1:43 p.m. in Cali. How's Chicago weather right now? It was a little rainy this morning. I was outside around 8 a.m. It rained a little bit, so it's a little what's the word? Humid. But it's a beautiful day. Cleared up. It's looking nice out there. Just a little humid. It's feeling a little cooler in here than it was yesterday. Salute. Shout out from Dallas, Texas. Salute Dallas, Texas. Xavier Martinez says, sé que el Mayo fue secuestrado. Si el Mayo no fue secuestrado, ¿cuál era el punto de esconderse y explicar los moretones? Incluso su abogado dijo que el Mayo fue secuestrado. ¿Con quién hablas así? What are you talking about, bro? I get it. I get what you're saying. But, yeah, people have their own opinion. That's all. Everybody's going to have their own version of what went down. All right? I've seen a lot of funny ones. Miguel Lopez said, I'm in Chicago right now, Southside. If anyone need a little church on Thursday, let me know. For those that need that spiritual love, holla at Miguel Lopez. Salutes to you, bro. Appreciate you. At 7 p.m. at church. Salutes. Jonathan said Texas and Chicago run on the same time like the late great Pimp C made it known. Yeah, them other dudes East Coast according to the pimp. Salutes. Lupe the Bull said driving to my next stop in the Shire checking in. Salutes to you, Lupe. Drive safely. Be safe out there. All right. No driving and chatting in the chat. Salutes to you. Have a great day. Get that bag. Right. It's the first of the month, I think. Something like that. Lucky California is hot as F, over 100 degrees. Does it get hot in Chicago? Oh, yeah. We get that. We get that with some humidity. Salutes. Salutes, Luisa Garcia. Appreciate you. A Chapo lawyer also came out yesterday and said that Mayo did not get picked up against his will. Everybody has a different story. Who do we believe? Whose truth is the real truth, huh? Shy gonna disappear from the stream and come back toasty. Shy's already wrecked, yo. Shy's had a long night. I got half my family in Chicago and the rest in Dallas and El Paso. Salutes to you. All right, so hit the like button, y'all. 46 concurrent viewers, 9 likes. Disrespectful. Salutes. Christopher Barajas said, I'm confused as to the whereabouts of a video. Did he join with? He's either in witness protection or in another joint. Salutes also on the check-in. That's what I think about it. He's either in witness protection or in another joint. He got moved. Hit the like button, y'all. Hit the like button, y'all, and make sure y'all push everybody. Hit that like button. Salutes. All right. But again, as soon as she goes live, I will be taking myself off screen and leaving her on screen. I will be leaving the chat, I believe. I'll leave the chat up here in this corner right here. I think I'm gonna leave that there. Carlos Blanco said it right. Hit that like button. Also on the road again. Safe travels to you and the family, sir. Safe travels. Have a great time. Salutes. That's why I had to wake up early this morning. Family also vacationing, so wanted to send them off to say goodbye. Salutes. I got this stream, we're gonna be here for a good time, not a long time. As soon as I get out of here, I gotta call my grandmother. Happy birthday to my grandmother, my one remaining living grandmother, 96 years old today. Y'all just remember I celebrated my grandfather's 100th. Today's my grandmother's 96th birthday, so I gotta give her a call before they lay it down to rest tonight. You know what I'm saying? And they be out of there at 6 o'clock. Shout out from South Bend, Indiana. Salutes to you, Alfredo Beltran. Appreciate you. Johan, Cubs or White Sox fan? I am not divided, sir. My name is Sha'il. I am a Chicago fan. Some call it fence riding. I call it being a part of a city that has 2 championship teams, and I'm supposed to choose. Come on, man. This city's divided enough by gangs and police and politics. Shout out Zoraida. She jumped the fence to go hit that like button over there. Christopher Badajas said, did you hear that Joaquin Jr. spoke perfect, fluent English at court? I did not. I haven't been able to get into it. I was too busy fighting trolls yesterday and doing what I got to do. And today we got this. But we'll get to it eventually. All right? I'm going to keep editing the stuff that Jay did in the last couple of lives and put that stuff out and let people complain about it. And then we'll get up on the paperwork. Shout out Fernando. He sent me a bunch of paperwork that we could go through too, so we could have a nice little paperwork party. Salutes. All right, Velez on his way from SoCal to NorCal. Everyone on the road right now. Everyone drives safely. All right, I appreciate y'all being in the chat. I'd much rather you just hit the like button unless you're not driving. If you're in the passenger side, I appreciate y'all in the chat. For those of y'all on the road, salutes to y'all. Be safe. Have a great time wherever you headed and get home safely. Salutes to y'all. Is it true three of Chapo's sons don't get along with the third brother? I mean, people be talking like he's the outcast, but, none of us really know for sure. But that's what, there was a funny thing that Albert Flores put in the Discord. I'll show us before we go. We're cutting the time close right now. Let me see where we at. Where's we at? Let me get this down here. Where is we at? We got 10 minutes. Again, I'm going to drop Charlie Webster's Instagram. Now, remember, people, this is a live show. At any point, anything can go wrong. The live can go down. They're live or whatever. I'm doing what I can, It is what it is. Mr. Blessed, you call it what the fuck you want. I'm a Chicago fan. I don't give a fuck about baseball anyway. If they're not fighting, I don't want to watch it. All right, I gave up after the Bulls dynasty was over, and after the '85 Bears. Now, if there's not fisticuffs involved, I don't want to watch it. I'm combat sports only. So call it what you want. Shahil, your lineage got some legendary genetics. Salutes, man. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate them. Hopefully, it passed on to me, and I live a long, prosperous life. Right. Is it true that with the other brother? Yeah, we'll talk about that another time. I want to look into that because I want to see the dynamics of their relationship. Like all Chicago teams, a lot of legendary Chicago teams over the years, don't matter what sport. I come from a championship city. People want me to pick. To me, and then they look at me like I'm crazy. I think you small-minded. I think your mind is this big. You know what I'm saying? If you got to pick a side, bro. But then again, these are the same people that, the side they pick is as important as, they cool with, if the side they pick is doing chomo activity, they'll ignore that shit because it's the side that they pick. You know what I mean? That's the world right now. Everybody want to be in the game. I'm straight. And I rock my Sox hat when I'm up north, and I rock my Cubs hat when I'm out south. So, fuck what you talking about. Salute Zoraida. Happy birthday to my grandmother. Do you watch ONE FC? They put on as good fights as UFC. They put on great fights. I think they have one of the pound for pound greatest fighters of all time, Mighty Mouse. You know what I'm saying? So, salutes. Master Khalik said only boxing for him. Don't trip, Master Khalik. Hang out with us, man. We be doing some MMA too, man. I'm trying to turn all the boxing heads in here that don't give MMA a shot. I'm trying to turn them out, right? Trust me. Shout out Ryan Munguia, watching boxing fights this weekend, my brother. I'm hoping so, man. Hopefully I have a chill weekend and I'm able to at least watch the fights and react live. Hit the like button, y'all, man. The numbers is not matching up. Crash Out, salute Crash Out on the check-in. Salute to the members in the chat. I appreciate y'all. Again, I think starting today, I think this live stream, we're going to start testing out when the live stream is over, when the live streams are over in the future. They will be instantly going to members only. So the only way you'll be able to catch now mind you, don't get it messed up, people. You're still gonna see the main pieces of what was in those lives, right? I'm gonna put those out the same way I always do. But I'm gonna test out making the lives members only so people stop complaining that I'm reposting the same thing. I'm not reposting the same thing. I'm reposting different things for different people and it's working to build the channel. So I appreciate everybody's input and advice. I got a long ass, there's a comment, dude put a comment in the thing today, this long, condescending, I didn't read that shit. I read the bottom, condescending shit, giving me advice. If you ain't got a channel, I don't want your advice. If you ain't done at least what I've done already, I don't need the advice. I'm straight. St. Anthony said, Chicago produces the most professional athletes in other places in the country. Salutes. Like you said, 85 Bears, Bulls Dynasty, and it ain't to knock a MF. And if it ain't knocking the MF out, who cares? I don't want to watch. When people be like, you watching the Super Bowl? I'll be like, are they fighting? No? I'm straight. I try watching MMA. I can't get past the grappling. Here's when you can get past the grappling, though, Analia. When you can see exactly what's happening in the grappling and it doesn't just look like movement. Once you know those things, it becomes so much better. It's like watching like Rogan calls it, what is it? High pressure chess with dire physical consequences. Mighty Mouse and Rod Tang are some of my favorite ONE FC fighters. UFC dropped the ball. Absolutely, they dropped the ball letting Mighty Mouse go. Let's make today a good day. Salutes LV. I appreciate you. Zoraida seconds that emotion. Mighty Mouse is a beast. Probably the most underrated fighter in the history of fighting. Come on, y'all, hit the like button. Takes nothing but 2 seconds and don't cost you a thing. Salutes. All right? I'm going to keep refreshing. Again, I'm going to be dropping Charlie's Instagram in the chat every now and then. For those that want to give her a follow. All right? I promote everybody. I don't wait for them to promote me. All right? Salutes, Eddie Jimenez. I appreciate you, Hugo Alvarez. So who you got? Ryo or Pitbull? Pitbull. I like Pitbull. Ryan Munguia said, how do you know the Flores boys? Through this channel. All right. I started reacting to their Surviving El Chapo series with their host, Charlie Webster. And long story short, they ended up reaching out and we ended up doing lives together, including the wives. Pitbull overrated, no big win since lost to Tank. We shall see. All right. Again, I'm as far as boxing goes, I'm not as up on all the fighters and their records as I am with MMA. I used to be when I was a kid with boxing, but boxing lost me for a lot of years. Christopher Barha said, English or Spanish? English or Spanish what? Will this live stream be in English or Spanish? They're in English. She's from England, I believe. I fuck around and be wrong like Johnny Mitchell was and shit. No, yeah, Johnny Mitchell called her Australian or some shit. El que mueve es gay. Yeah, Christopher, that kind of trolling, those kind of jokes don't really go over here, bro. We adults over here on this side, dog. All right, salutes. All right, 356. Again, where JFL at? He probably watching a fight right now or a weigh-in or some shit. When they go live, I will be going full screen on them. I won't be reacting to it. I will be hanging out in the chat with y'all. And then afterwards, we'll talk about it. Salutes. No, I like a lot of boxing. Don't get it messed up. I still know my boxing. I'm just not up on it. Even with the UFC, I can't be up on everybody like I used to be up on, bro. There's not enough hours in the day, as you can tell. I broke night last night. Not enough hours in the day. Too much politics in boxing. What I love about the UFC is that 90% of the time you're going to get the fight that you want to see. All right, salutes. Those likes is going up. I appreciate y'all. Right? 3 minutes. It's looking like 3 minutes. I'm going to keep refreshing this screen until they are live. It's all good, Christopher. I appreciate you, but... And we good. We have fun, and we laugh and shit, but... We kind of up the level of shit talk around here, and we'd like a better level of troll and all kind of shit, but, we try to keep it thorough. We have fun, though. Zorada, you may need to save him like you saved me. Who she got to say? Oh, JFL? She got to go find him? Is it the JFL from Philly? No. I don't know if he's from Philly. Oh, I got you. Shout out. What's your thoughts on the Algerian trans boxer smashing on all them females in the Olympics? That should be illegal. That should absolutely be illegal. All right? Male bone structure beating up women. It's bogus. All right, 358. 50 people watching, only 36 likes. Come on, Ghost Watchers, hit the like button. It's free. Salutes. Salutes Crash Out, Young Jizzle, and Rilo. The mission is to wrench y'all up, but again, I haven't slept, and I did look for the spot to try to find it, and I couldn't find it. So I was like, I can't think right now. Shout out Think Like a Kingpin on the check-in. Salutes to you, sir. Appreciate you. All right, let me keep giving this a update right here. Make sure we ain't the ones that's bogus. We on time. We stay on time. Salutes. Shout out Pebs. I appreciate you. Salutes. Pebs on the vertical check-in. Pebs, hit that like button before you bounce up out of here. Salutes. All right. Pebs got the member badge. Got the little shot emoji right there. I got to put the gray hair on that emoji. That guy is actually a girl. She's having a vagina. She just has very high testosterone. Look it up. She's a biological girl. She's not trans. Oh, well, I ain't know nothing about it until you mentioned it. So you misled me. You know what I'm saying? Oh, no. It wasn't you. All right, Velez might be misinformed. That guy is actually a girl. Look it up. She's a biological girl. She's not trans. We shall see. Shout out Bobby D. Salutes. Hold on. Let me keep hitting this over here. I don't want to miss it. Messing with the chat. I'm nobody's celebrity. I'm just a low-level YouTuber, Peb. Salutes to you, though. Have a good day. Jay, did everyone ever consider that Mayo has always been in Texas and got Lil Chapo turned in? Hey, there's an angle for everything, Papas. We could throw that shit all kind of different ways. Jonathan Pantoja said, where Peb's at? Peb's over here on the vertical side. All right? We got 2 live streams going at the same time, Pebs. With 2. Here we go. We live. All right, y'all.
Really great to see you. I'm going to try and add Jay in now because we're going to have a little conversation with Jay Flores from the Flores twins about everything that's happened with El Mayo. And just give me 1 second so I can add him in. As you know, here we go. Let's hope that oh, there we go. He joins. So here he is.
Hey,
Hi, Jay.
Charlie.
That's
I'm
always
here.
like the most nervous bit.
Oh, shit.
Jay.
Charlie.
That's
I'm
always
here.
like the most nervous bit. I'm always like, how can I add him in? It's really great to see you. Just to
Well,
remind everyone
you
that
can't see me,
no,
so
we can't see
thank
you,
you.
but you've
So
got a
thank
very
you.
appropriate t-shirt on though.
Yeah. Hi, it was
Um,
nice to see you, Charlie.
Thank you. Well, I just want to remind everyone that the reason why we can't see you is because you can't show your face because of potential danger to you and your family. So I think actually before we get into things, people would probably like to know how you are because we've spent a lot of time together and we made a podcast called Surviving El Chapo, which we did with 50 Cent, and it was featured yourself and your brother Pete telling us the story of everything that happened. And I suppose we haven't heard from you for a while. And we also know that Val, your wife, and also Vivi, Pete's wife, did end up and are currently serving in jail. And I know that before we get into things, people just want to know how you are and how Val and Vivi are doing.
I'm doing well. I think, I guess, anyone who actually listens to Surviving the Chapel, it feels like we're kind of like built for this already. It's been difficult to be without Val, and for the kids to be without their mom, and vice versa for Vivi not to be here as well. But we're hanging in there. The girls are doing well, so I just want to say hello to them and tell Val how much I love her and how much she's missed. It's just another great part of the story. It seems like it doesn't stop, but I certainly hope that this is the last part of that type of stories that we're gonna have to share. And I'm looking forward to, for them to be home, hopefully sooner than later. But yeah, Charlie, but before I continue on, I mean, we haven't heard from you either. I mean, other people have heard from you. Congratulations, you have a number one podcast that came after ours, Commander, and then you wrote a book, you know,
Oh,
why
yeah.
it's okay to talk about trauma. So you're doing a lot. So just congratulations to you and all that you're doing. You have your upcoming documentary of First Commando as well. So wow, I'm not surprised, but I just wanted to congratulate you on all your work.
Bless you. You're really kind. Thank you. I appreciate it. And it's
We don't
been
have
like,
enough time to keep going in all your accomplishments. So,
no, but that was
your
good.
coverage in the Olympics.
I need to like bring you along to be like my promoter
Oh,
or something because
for sure.
you just read like my most recent bio, so I
Yes.
appreciate it. But I know
Uh,
that you have you've been such a great supporter. It's amazing kind of how our friendship in a way grew through telling your story, and I'm grateful for you trusting me with that. I know people, thanks everybody for joining us, and keep waving, send your messages. But I know, Jay, that a lot of people want to hear about everything that's gone on recently, so
mhm.
let's get straight stuck into that. And I know some people have messaged asking about like, when do, sorry to use the term, but the wives come out. But we'll answer that shortly because I want to get stuck into everything that's happened with El Mayo. I mean, when I saw the news, my jaw dropped because I remember, El Mayo features so much in Surviving El Chapo, the podcast, which is based on your story, your and Pete's story. And there was this whole thing about, he's never been arrested. Nobody knows where he is. And then all of a sudden we hear this news that the biggest drug trafficker in the world is with El Chapo's son, and they're on American soil, and they've been apprehended in New Mexico. So I think firstly, like, tell us a bit about who El Mayo actually is, because we so often hear El Chapo, he's like the famous name of drug lords, but less so El Mayo. But actually, from learning from you, El Mayo's like the co-founder of the Sinaloa cartel, and arguably more important.
Um, Yeah, I remember still the days that I was basically trying to give you an education on drug cartels, right?
Yeah.
When we first started actually working on the podcast, it seems like so many years ago.
I
And
know.
you know what? Basically, we all know that the Chapo was like the name that everyone knew. So basically, some of the stuff that's been out there, like our podcast surrounding the Chapo, right? But there's other drug lords and other people that were involved in our story. One of them being El Mayo Zambada. So for those who don't know, El Mayo Zambada was one of the founders of the Sinaloa cartel. He has close to 50 years as being the boss of the Sinaloa cartel. Okay, that's a very long time. He's not known to the world, but to the people who are actually, probably in drug trafficking, he's well known. He basically, I don't want to say that he would like everyone always asks, well, is he the real boss? Or, it's kind
Yeah.
of hard because I never considered them to be not bosses. Chapo's everything that everyone knows, and everyone says he is. But there's just someone who's always been in the background, but just a little bit bigger in his own right. His organization is, he has a very big organization across the world. Like I said, he's been the boss for close to 50 years. It's someone that me and my brother actually worked directly with and had a friendship with, and he was actually uh, a person that my brother and I really consider to be more of a family to us. He's
Okay.
basically one of the persons that brought us into the organization, with open arms, and as well as his sons. So not only was he the head, but also was his son Vicente Zambada, who listening to podcasts on many viewers know that he was part of our case as well, and he was indicted as part of our case and extradited to Chicago in 2010. And he also testified against Chapo. So there's a lot of history there with him.
Was it, Jay, thanks for that. I want to ask you more about El Mayo as a person and some of your experiences, but was the news like unexpected for you? Because it seemed to be a shock, and can you share any more details on what happened?
Yeah, I was shocked. I really just thought that he would never be captured alive. Through those stories I actually was able to, have with him, that he, would tell just not just me but others that, he would rather, put a bullet in his head than, end up in a prison, let alone an
Yeah.
American prisoner. So yeah, it wasn't something that I ever thought was going to happen. What I envisioned was something that could have happened like to the other drug lord, Arturo Beltran Leiva or Pablo Escobar, where they go to arrest him and a shootout or something like that, and uh, they kill him or something. So I was shocked when I heard actually that he was arrested uh, in New Mexico, and now because of what I do, I got a call from law enforcement saying, "Hey, this just happened." I was just like, "No, there's no way."
Really?
Uh,
That
and he turned
just that's
himself in.
interesting because
Yeah.
actually somebody on Instagram, Mr. Faz 007 actually asked that question, like, how did you first hear about Maya's arrest? So you were actually called by law enforcement.
Yeah, law enforcement. Now with what I'm doing today with consulting law enforcement,
Yeah.
I developed a lot of friendships, and they're like, this is what's going on. I just said, there's no way. But the information was that he turned himself in. That was hard. I didn't believe that, not even for a second. I feel like I knew right away there had to be more to the story because just my understanding of him, knowing him on a personal level, I knew that there had to be more to the story. Then when I heard that he was arrested not just by himself but also with Joaquin Guzman Lopez, which is
El Chapo's
Chapo
son.
Guzman's son,
Yeah.
I I'm not there anymore, but I follow this frequently. I follow the stories. Me understanding and being a part of that world, I understand that they're in a war basically with each other because of what I believe has a lot to do with our cooperation and how the organization splintered after um, so many people were being arrested and basically flipped on the Chapo, and all those hard feelings that came with that. So that was as soon as I heard that, I said, no, there's more to this story for sure.
So what do you think happened then? I know a lot of people are asking that. What story is the most legitimate about how El Chapo's son, Joaquin and Mayo, ended up on that
Yeah,
plane?
through some it did take long, just understanding some of the facts that were actually getting put out there, and because of some of my own sources, was that he was, and now that I have enough information, 100% he was kidnapped. Um, there is a lot of stories out there that a couple of his bodyguards, some that I actually know on a personal level, were actually killed in the course of him being kidnapped. And basically he was put on a plane and sent to the United States. So that story, that's where I actually feel that actually happened. The details that led up to those events, I'm not sure about, but uh, I do believe that he was kidnapped in order to bring something in for them to actually work out a cooperation agreement for Chapo's sons, which is Ovidio Guzman and Joaquin Guzman Lopez, both of them who are actually got extradited to Chicago, and are basically going to be facing prosecution there.
Okay. And we just had, I've got questions I want to ask you, but I want to make sure that we answer the questions that people are asking on here as well. So,
Okay.
Arcane23 says, is Mayo being arrested a panic to the Mexican government?
Mm, I would believe so. I would believe so because as recently you've seen that there's the president of Honduras, I believe, was just convicted of drug trafficking, as well as the Secretary of Defense for Mexico, convicted in American courtroom. So I do believe that there's some worry there. Now, I don't believe that there's anything beneficial for Mayo to cooperate.
You don't?
No, I don't
Why
believe.
not?
Uh, it's just who he is in the criminal world. I think he carries too much of you know, a risk to be put in just any prison. That the only prison that would be safe for him to be actually in and would be at ADX, where Chapo Guzman is.
El Chapo is
So
in.
there's no basically like incentive for him to cooperate. He's not going to be released. He's 79 or 78 years old, I believe. He's
Yeah, and
suffering from.
even today, sorry to interrupt you, Jay, but even today he was in El Paso in a courtroom and he was in a wheelchair and didn't look
Yeah,
great.
yeah. He's from my understanding, he's suffering from diabetes as well as maybe some kind of cancer. Um, the way that this is gonna like play out for quite some time, I just don't see any incentives for him to cooperate. His sons have already been, convicted and released. Well, at least three of them. He has one son who's actually, the head of the cartel as well, as of now. So I mean, I just don't see any reason for him to cooperate. Legacies are important to these individuals. Um, I'm
That's
sure he understands that
interesting.
he's at the end of his life, and um, yeah, I don't see what the government could actually offer him.
Because it's interesting because Michael actually asked that question as well. He said, "Do you think Elmaya will get into witness protection in exchange for suppliers?" But you're basically saying he's not gonna give any information or cooperate from what you know of him.
Yeah, to enter witness protection, it's
No,
not something easy to
no,
actually get
we've
into.
talked about that.
And
It's not quite
because
what people
yeah,
think, right?
yeah, because of his background, and I'm sure from my understanding of some of this the heads of the cartel, the organization, they've been they go after people who cooperate. Um, so that plays a big part because the government has to protect those witnesses, and his influence is just his influence will be I think it's just too much of influence that he possesses to be put in a regular institution. So the BOP would not. I don't think would not allow him in any PCU units or anything like that.
I'm just kind of flicking through some of the comments. Thanks so much for joining us, and hi everyone, and
Yeah.
thanks for sorry not the phone,
Oh
but
yeah, yeah.
thanks
Say
for the
hello to
comments.
everyone who actually joining us, and anyone who's dropping comments in the section, and for all those viewers and anyone. You know what? Just thank all the listeners, right, for the podcast. I don't think I ever got to thank them. So for whoever listens to Surviving the Travel podcast, just thank you for all the support. I want to say that I do keep up with those comments and and those reviews, especially on Apple Podcasts and stuff like that. I do look through them, and there's more to come, hopefully. So,
Yeah, most
keep looking. Yeah,
definitely. So much more. And it was the one of the top podcasts of 2022. So which and it is incredible. I think, but obviously I'm biased. But your story is so compelling, and it's not just a story of like this kind of hardcore narco action, which some of it is, but it's also a story of like redemption and love and trauma and extremely
yeah.
powerful. So there's a couple of comments here. You can flick through them fairly quickly, Jay, but one is he's never been fingerprinted before, so is it him? That's actually a really good point.
You know what? It's funny, Charlie, because it seems like everyone turns into this expert, but I 100% will leave it to the government, just so they know they have three of his sons. They have way more DNA and than they could imagine. Trust me, the United States is not going to make a mistake like this. It's him.
Okay.
I ID'd him, and for sure. And they have, some of the witnesses are actually his own children, so
Yeah,
uh,
true.
yeah, it shouldn't be an issue.
Somebody else says, AD 93, do you think it's payback from Chapo's sons because Mayo's sons testified against Chapo? that's kind of interesting on that. Before you answer that question, we've spoke a lot about this, Jay, about because I know you've had people comment and throw abuse at you for cooperating, but I remember you saying to me, but people don't understand this happens all the time, and we've even seen it on the highest level with El Chapo and El Mayo about cooperation.
Yeah, I don't want to make excuses. Eh, for those who haven't listened to Surviving the Chapel, go listen to it. My brother and I don't make excuses. We did it, to do something that we thought was best for our family. At the time, there was, for the Sinaloa cartel or for Mexican cartel, there's no one that actually had ever took that first step to reach out to the government and offer to cooperate. We risked our life for 7 months. There's no excuses for my brother and I. It's something that we decided to do for our family. What we see that's happening today is like, you know, these things are coming to light. It's what we were witnessing, back, 15 years ago, in the time that we were involved in
Yeah.
in the Sinaloa cartel. Um, it's just now coming to light. It's just now, people are starting to see these figures and seeing how things are played out. We learned from the trial that, Chapo and Mayo's organization was working, with the U.S. authorities, giving information on rivals and their own people. We've seen that, Mayo's, brother and three sons all cooperated, as well as high-ranking, lieutenants on both sides of the organization. So I do believe that me and my brother kind of started this. I'm not gonna say a trend, but I think gave
Well, you,
them the out. Right?
yeah.
We planted that
Well,
seed.
it'd never been
For them,
done before, what you did.
yeah. I know that after we actually turned ourselves in, that Chapo, Mayo, and a couple of high-ranking members of the cartel had a meeting where they wanted their kids to turn themselves in just like we did, and cooperate and
Oh,
change their life
really?
on. And one of Chapo's son, which is the person who's in charge right now, Ivan Guzman, basically said no, and everyone else followed suit. But until it gets into these tough situations, I think that what Chapo's sons did was basically kind of what they're blaming is probably blaming Miles' organization for their father being in prison, and basically feeling like, if our father's suffering, you're going to suffer too. And not only that, help themselves in a way of adding to the cooperation. Um, so I think that was a smart by them, but as far as coming from them, that was very smart, because instead of just killing him or doing something like that, um, they turned him over to U.S. authorities, which they're going to be able to get credit for. Um, and it helps out the U.S. government, because it kind of just shows that when the United States government puts that pressure, sooner or later, everyone will face justice. It's just another way, another out to give people the opportunity to basically change their lives. And it's what me and my brother did. We were like the first ones. It was a 14-year sentence that we received, but I feel like I was blessed that, I'm able to be here and talking to you about it now, right?
Yeah, thank you. And thanks so much for all your comments. Like I'm flicking through them and like all your love about the podcast. Like we're really grateful. Um, one of my own questions is um, how, you talked about, this kind of started almost, well, it did start from your case in 2008. What does this mean anything for you personally, the fact that El Mayo is being captured?
Mm, I think, you know, with the case, like right now, I do see Mayo probably facing justice in Chicago along with his son. I there's a time I think we spoke about it that I felt like my cooperation and I think the sacrifice we made wasn't like being shown, right? For sure, I understand there's a lot of more stuff that has came from there. And that maybe me and my brother were not giving enough credit, for taking that initial step and some of the stuff that happened afterwards. But I think it does kind of, you know, my prize has been, my family and, and the ability to be able to have a life and since then. But it does feel good to know that, me and my brother were right all along. It kind of just shows what I've said before, that, for my brother and I, being born and raised in Chicago and, making it to those upper echelons of the Sinaloa cartel and making all that money and being at the top and deciding, to walk away from it. I think that that's never, highlighted enough. You highlight it because you understand, the basics of it. Everyone else is going to say, you cooperated, you're right, whatever the case is. But again, right? It's to me those comments mean nothing. Because I always say, like, it would take someone to understand, to walk in
Yeah.
those shoes, or to maybe have this perspective. And maybe we are one of a kind. Maybe, that's what we should kind of see, and maybe where we stand out and say that's what made us different. And this is what actually, allows us to be alive and talking to you to this day, right?
Yeah. It's interesting you say that because it's one of the things, like when we were working together, and like I said, you and myself and Pete, we had so many conversations, some like till the early hours of the morning, and you walked away from a life that many people maybe wouldn't when they see the money. There was one point where you said, like, I didn't even know how much money we got at one point because we got so much money that I didn't even know. But actually, the only way you could ever escape what you did was by doing what you did. But just again, I want to kind of like make sure that we answer some of these questions. Um, Mags has said, do you think Mexico will become more dangerous or become more peaceful? And I know they also mentioned about why didn't Mexico help out around with El Mayo as well.
Okay. Well, second question first is like Mexico. You know, for the most part, I don't like the way Mexico's painted out. The drug cartels, it seems like it almost like they run the country, but they don't. Yes, the government could be implicit in that, but Mexico does a lot. They lose people each and every day fighting this war against the Sinaloa cartel and other cartels. Um, I do believe that they've been, I'm not saying that they do everything they can, but they try to combat these drug cartels to put people in prison. As you've seen, there's been a lot of arrests and captures, and
Yeah.
I don't think we applaud them enough. The United States works hand in hand with them. I've been there. I've been in those shoes. I've seen, what goes on, but it takes, I guess, a criminal in that world to want it more than anyone else, and I think that's what played out. But as sad as it is, I do believe that there's going to be, repercussions. There's going to be, um, you know, a lot of deaths that are going to come from this
Right.
eventually. Even if it's quiet, but in the long run, I think it's going to churn basically drug trafficking in Mexico upside down. When they're seeing it for their own eyes, the people in the organizations that they can't trust anyone. When they can't trust their leaders, they can't trust, uh, the people they've worked for, whatever. I just think that's gonna change the dynamic of, of what the business was, and I think that, Mayo Zambada is basically the last, historic, generation.
Drug
Like
lord. Right.
yeah, drug lord. I
Yeah.
mean, I will say I don't think that there's a drug lord like him. There's, I don't even think Pablo Escobar kind of could match, his longevity and um, his drug trafficking, that he's been accused of. So he's basically a dinosaur, and we're basically seeing a dinosaur, being captured.
Miguel says, El Mayo said the Sinaloa cartel is the most powerful cartel in the world. Is that true?
I think the Sinaloa cartel was the most powerful cartel in the world, hands down. I think me being part of the organization, I think when we were there, it was at its peak
Yeah.
of when it came to power. I do see it, I do see other, cartels or other big drug trafficking organization kind of, moving in a little bit. But I always had to do with those old contexts, the old people, leadership like Mayo Zambalas and Chapos and other cartel leaders that since been arrested or killed. So I'm not sure, if Chapo Sons, what would they make of it, what they're gonna do. They continue to, I guess surprise everyone and continue to go, but I just don't see, it lasting. I think that we're starting to see it's the beginning of the end, in my opinion, of a organization that was basically at one time for many years, one of the biggest drug trafficking organizations in the world, by far.
You know what? My brother's just joined and made a funny comment, a silly comment.
Say hello to Charlie's. Say say hello to
Brother,
Charlie's
Joe.
brother. Um,
It's like
I've heard so
typical.
much about you, so in person. Say hello to you.
So Jay, I just want to go back a little bit about El Mayo as a person as well, and the time you said, you know, when you were part of the organization. You know, we've talked a lot about this. You were El Chapo and El Mayo's right hand men, you and Pete, but you were also seen as family. What was your personal experience like with him? I think, you know, we can see all these news reports of everything that's going on, but there's not many people that can sit here and tell us actually what he was like.
Mm, yeah, Charlie. Well, I guess I call him a countryman. Basically, I feel like he was the John Dutton of the drug cartel world. Anyone sees Yellowstone, that type of personality, where it's a countryman, more of a rancher type, simple man, respectable. Um, it's kind of hard to believe that at first meeting that he would be involved, and in this type of drug trafficking. His demeanor, meaning his morals, principles, like the man that he was, did remind me a lot of my father, and I think that that's
Okay.
why we were able to have that relationship. That was a little bit more, that transcended business for sure. That was, more personal, and um, I do believe it's like he he loved just simplicity. I have a story where it's a thing where all the drug traffickers give, these, the bosses gifts, it could be every different type of the gifts, a lot of jewelry, a lot of watches and stuff. And he would always like poke fun of the jewelry we wear, because at that time we were wearing big, gaudy, big old jewelry, um, and he explained that he had, literally, he said, I have literally hundreds of watches, worth millions of dollars that I never wear. A lot of them are gifts, but I like this simple watch. Look at this simple watch. It was a simple, thin leather strap watch, very thin face. He said, I had this watch for 5 years. It's my favorite watch, he said, He said, it's probably worth maybe $1,200, he said. And we're like, "Oh, okay." He was like showing us with his hand, and then out of sudden he got up off the chair, and he started taking it off, and he walked, towards my brother. At that time, my brother, had been recently released from being kidnapped, and I think he felt this, like, he felt bad, and he took the watch off his wrist and put it in my brother's wrist. He literally put it on his wrist, made sure that he fastened it, and I remember everyone just looking at us like, "What?" And he said, "Look, I've had this. It's not much, but it's a gift from me to you, and I want you to have it." And then he turned and looked at me. He said, I got another gift for you. Don't worry, I got a gift for you. It's going to be meaningful as well. I'm going to think of something and give it to you so you don't feel left out. And I remember telling him, like, I'm just thankful that you gave me the biggest gift. My brother's here with me. And he laughed. But it just, it's, these stories I have that I always say, like, you know, being there, like everyone, like if they knew, the people who knew we were involved in the Sinaloa cartel, and they knew our relationships. The most, like, the one that always stood out is like, wow, like, Mayo and Vicente, and you're their people and they like you, and that was always a big, something like that stood out to everyone. Yeah, but I have many stories of him just being the simple, like us being in the mountains tops of Sinaloa, and him literally throwing himself on the ground right under a tree and saying, "Let's eat." And I sat in a trunk of a tree, and he was laying down on just sitting down on grass, and us having a bean taco with cheese and salsa, and he would look at me and laugh, because we would eat these roasted, like, pumpkin seeds as well. Like, I don't know, it's, I guess, a Mexico thing. Uh, and he would look at me like, I think he was still like shocked that he would see this, American that was young and had all this jewelry and, you know, still be able to like have those Mexican, you know, roots and eat the food that he ate and, you know, be simple as well.
It's like it's so I've heard you talk about these things so many times, and it still find it so contradictory for like what you how you talk about these huge figures, but what they've actually done in the world is so contradictory from what we expect to hear about them as their
Yeah,
personalities. Like you're saying,
Char-
he's a simple man. He doesn't value these things, like, you know, the watch story. You
Mhm.
know, I've heard you talk about many different stories, and the respect and the loyalty and like, but it's so contradictory from everything that they've actually done.
I think that word contradiction has been, you know, tossed around a lot, Charlie, since we've met, right? I think the contradiction of what people expect, you know, to be running the organizations. And I really think even the culture, right? People look at me and think, oh, no, you know, you don't look like the person we think, you know. I get it all the time, especially working with law enforcement. But even with the culture right now that they think they have to be a certain way, that they have to be these, you know, violent men. Here, my brother and I are, you know, we're not that tall. We, you know, I don't think we look threatening in any way and
No, you
don't resemble a
don't.
drug lord. And I think that goes for them as well. People see them, see Miles Zambrano's picture right now, and they're kind of confused between, you know, older man, you know, who they're like, is this the person? Like, yes, that's the person. Um, and it's a big, you know, contradiction. I think that, you know, there's so many stories. I was just thinking right now, we need to go back to all those, you know, the crates and look at all those recordings from you know, the podcast that we didn't use, and you know, there's so much information in there as well.
I know. I want to start to bring it to a close, but I've got a few more questions,
Yeah.
and just a really quick comment from Miguel. He says, "Jay, I'm from Durango. Is there a possible chance that CNJG, which we did speak about on the podcast, another cartel, could take over Durango and Sinaloa territory?"
You know, I think if the cartel new generation makes a move, it's not going to be because they care so much about that, you know, land. It's going to be to basically, you know, um, kill off any of, you know, potential people that could actually take over and become powerful and take maybe Miles' uh, position, but he does have his son there. So what's going to happen is like people in those areas of Durango, Chihuahua, all those people that are basically, you know, that keep going with their life, right? It's the number one thing that happens in drug trafficking. One person, you know, goes to prison or dies, and there's the next person wants to, you know, take that position. Is that they might start recruiting more of those lieutenants, more of those people that are willing to, you know, switch sides, and hopefully they're into, you know, making their organization more powerful and grow it. That's what they're about, and I could see that happening.
Um, so where does I think I know you touched upon this a little bit, but um, where how does this play out in the broader context, and what do you think is going to happen next? Now that El Mayo has been captured, which I know you were surprised at.
Um, well, for that part, I think that's going to take a little while. But what I'm more interested in than anything is that Um, I see my ex-attorney Jeffrey Lickman, you know, in a news conference say that he doesn't have a cooperation agreement. I'm like, absolutely, he doesn't. You know, they can't promise him no cooperation agreement. It's in the making. But I think that the information that they have collectively and the information he came with, I think is really going to take effect. It's really going to put, you know, uh, more people in prison. It's really going to have a effect for Mexico because they're going to have to provide and share that information, share that intel. And I think that, you know, what people don't realize is when you cooperate and you choose to cooperate with the United States government, as the terms of, you know, my late assistant U.S. attorney who was handling the case, Thomas Shake Chef, he said,
Mm-hmm.
it's all or nothing. We don't get to
Yeah.
choose who you cooperate against and what you do. So I think that that's going to have effect on their brothers, you know, as well.
Yeah, just to remind people that when you cooperated against El Chapo, Thomas Shakeshaft, the late Thomas Shakeshaft, at the time said, and they all said to you that, well, you can't just give us El Chapo. We need everybody, and you had to turn in people that you'd consider your friends because it was give all the information, and also it's not like you just sit in one room for a day and cooperate. I think it was like 6 years, was it? That
Uh-huh.
you every day just had to sit. I mean, it was like 18 months, I think, every day that you had to sit and cooperate and draw like, stick figures of like how the cartel worked. But it was a long time, years and years
Uh,
of you cooperating.
we cooperated for well over 10 years, 11 years. Of course, it wasn't always, but you always get those calls. You always get those visits, as the case was actually ongoing. As of recently, still ongoing, and different people are being
Yeah.
that were part of my initial case are still some head of organizations and still fugitives. So yeah, it's a process where you know we didn't consider. And I know we talk a lot about, those situations. Like when we talk about it in the podcast, Surviving Chop, it's like we're talking about, you know, what was it like at those moments? I get a lot of those complaints, like how you're not gonna know. Yeah, you're basically, commenting or we're in hindsight, yeah, it makes sense. But at those particular moments when we're living you know, through those, episodes, we're living them in present time. And it was something we didn't consider. Now, I consider myself to be a expert consultant, especially for anyone who wants to cooperate. I think that um, it's understanding that part, and everyone's faced with this. Once you turn yourself in, once you're in that situation, you're in that room, you can't say, I'll give you this and not give you that. And then you have to decide when they decide and tell you, hey, you don't get to decide this. It's either going to be everything or nothing. And now you put yourself in a situation where like you can't go back. Um, but if doing the right thing is doing the right thing, guess what? I can't take it back. I'm happy with the decision I made.
Yeah.
Regardless, I can't go back. And sometimes we start to want to hang on a little bit to that path, but um, you live and you learn.
This is actually a good question. Do you think, because you've spent a lot, well, the question is on, it's just flipped off. Do you think that the Chapitos, which is El Chapo's sons, have the business capability to be able to have a successful operation as Mayo did? What's interesting about this, I remember you telling me stories about spending time with El Chapo's sons. So you know them well.
I know them well. But was that a question from you, or was that a question from the audience?
No, question from the audience.
A question from the audience is like, I was saying, like, let's think about what you just said. They basically are the heads of the Sinaloa cartel right now. They took one of the biggest drug lords in the history of the world with all that power, and they kidnapped them and put them on a plane. Do I have to tell you if they're capable of running the organization? I think that speaks volumes
Yeah.
right there.
So that's a yes.
Yes.
Yes. Um, Jay, I feel like I could talk to you all day. I mean, we have very, very long conversations. So before I forget, quick fire. Somebody did ask about your t-shirt, where they can get it from.
um, Actually, I mean that's a great question. This is just this is a t-shirt that I give away in my seminars at times. It's not up for sale, but if they like it, I actually have a new one with Mayo's face on it as well. I'll be bringing it out. I'll make sure that I put it out there. I have a website too. That people could look into. But I do look at the comments, especially in those reviews. Um, I laugh at them at times. And Charlie, I'm really hoping we could brainstorm and how there's so much more to tell. I guess the story continues, and
Yeah, it does.
I'm excited. I'm looking forward to Valerie and Vivi coming home, and
Yeah.
there's so much more ahead of us. And we'll see how this story plays out. Um, I do see Mayo probably landing most likely in the Chicago courtroom. That's if the political, I guess, powers don't get in the way of where he goes. But I think that'd be a great uh, place for him to go to, because I've seen that Chicago office work really hard for it.
So I know you mentioned your website. What's your website? And then also, For who was asking about your t-shirt, you can always DM me, and then I
Yeah.
can pass on the message to Jay. But
Charlie's
what's
gonna
your web?
take a cut. If she's gonna do that, you gotta take a cut. Like, yeah, we're
Yeah,
gonna do that.
absolutely. Come on.
Yeah, but yeah, it's the website is kingpin2educator.com.
Okay.
Um, Charlie, you know what? I know that you have a lot more things going on. I really hope that we continue to see you. Before we even lose this, I just want to tell you congratulations, and I'm so thankful that that 50 put us to work together, and I think that there's so many more opportunities where we could actually work together again.
Absolutely. You know what's really funny is thank you, G Valdorf has just made a comment saying surviving El Mayo soon, ha ha ha. And funnily enough, we actually were talking about that
Yeah,
recently, actually a few days ago, weren't we?
we got a couple of
So
names. Yeah, we got a couple
yeah.
of names. We got a couple of names to think of. That I think that'd be great. I mean, it'd be great. Stay tuned. Let's see what happens. This is a process, and I mean, I'd love to be able to, get back to it and be able to do something. Before we go, I just want to thank everyone who's been supportive. For all those people, I have like Shy Ill too as well. He's a big supporter on YouTube. Charlie covers the whole podcast as well as so much other content. Thank him and for my brother too. He was able to make it, but if he's able to catch us later, just tell my brothers, both of them, and the family that I love them and our wives, that's for sure. It's that we're always praying for them, thinking we can't wait for this to be over with.
Um, Thank you, Jay, and I know really people really appreciate that, and it's nice that you can like directly speak to people actually, which I know is important to you.
Yeah.
Um, hang on, we're not going yet. One more
No,
question,
I'm good.
because
I'm good. Let's go. You know what? I have to just shout out to 52 just in case. I would shout out 50 Cent and send my
yeah,
regards. He recently lost his grandpa,
yeah, he
who was
did.
like a father figure to him. So send him my prayers for him and his family.
Yeah, and I know there's things going on behind the scenes, and I know that
Yeah.
we'll all be back together soon,
Soon. Yeah.
as things move on with
Yeah.
your story.
Mm.
Not saying too much, and
Yeah.
yeah, love to 50, and I know how important his grandpa
Yeah.
is, and also like how difficult his family dynamic and childhood was as well, which we spoke about
Yeah.
many times. And people are asking, can you repeat the website? The website has been written on the comments if you want to look up the comments. And just before we go, I know we mentioned Val and Vivi at the very top, but just I know you said how they're doing, and they are doing well. But can you tell us, because a few people have asked, like when they are due to get out, if you're allowed to tell us?
Um, I'm hoping, we're keeping our fingers crossed sometimes next year, if everything goes well. There's a lot of programs. It's just, BOP, has a lot of issues and they're backed up. But hopefully, sometime next year, we'll be having her back, and hopefully we'll have something ready for them. As soon as they come back, we could get right to it. I know that, for a fact that, both Val and Vivi are like, reconsidering, kind of getting back into this. They see the need maybe for them to kind of share those stories, and I think that again, right, our story is always about like a cautionary story,
Yeah,
right? And I think it's being taken in the wrong way, and it's why we kind of share those sufferings. People be like, "Oh, stop crying." I'm like, no, that's the life. That's what you're gonna be doing if you keep doing what I do, or are involved in any type of criminal activity. But I think it kind of goes shows the heavy price that we're paying, and I really think there's so many things we could do, to kind of use our stories as something positive,
yeah,
So I'm looking forward to it,
yeah. I know that's really important to you. So thank you. Thanks so much for giving us your time,
Yeah.
Jay. I know I said to you, oh, we'll just do half an hour.
I,
So sorry
I
that
mean,
we've gone
no,
on.
listen, we could probably do this forever, Charlie. Right? We will start talking about something. Next thing you know, we're somewhere else. But you know what, Charlie? I do want to ask you about. You have a documentary coming up that has just been announced. When are you expecting it? Tell us a little bit about that.
Hang on, I'm supposed to ask the questions. The Scamander documentary is coming out on ABC on the 9th of October, and I suppose I shouldn't say too much, but I know that there might be something involving you, hopefully down the
Yeah.
line, that we've been
Yeah.
trying to work on behind the scenes too.
Yeah, as well. Yeah, so anyone who's like, you know what, I love the podcast Commando for sure. I guess, I see it now. I wasn't into podcasts, right? But understanding that we get to be in other people's worlds and other people's life, and your journalistic work, I think, help us kind of put ourselves in those environments. And I think it's what you did with our podcast. So yeah, for anyone who doesn't know, please take a listen and
Thank
tune
you,
in.
Jay. One more time, just give us your website, because a lot of people are asking, and I want to make sure it is written in the comments. But give it
So
to
this
us
is
one
a
more time.
business. You know what? This is a business website, guys. So like, I want to make it
You can
clear, like,
have people
uh,
contacting you. It's Kingpin to Educator, right?
kingpintoeducator.com. But really, you guys want to send any complaints, any
Any
requests, send them to
complaints?
Charlie, send them to
Send the
Charlie
complaints to
Webster.
me.
Yeah, and I would say, you know what? I would say this. Look, Charlie, she has a lot of stuff going on. Every once in a while, she'd be like, "Hey, here are all your requests, and here's these people that are asking this." So yeah, she does it, which is thank you, Charlie,
My
and your
pleasure.
busy stuff. And it's funny because I have you make friends. I made a new friend, and that in Shail, who's this YouTube host, who's actually they're tuning in to us live, and he's always like, "I got all these requests. I'm not your secretary," you know. So it's like I get it, but you know what? I'm starting to hear. Look, again, we share stories about my background. Obviously, is the world of drug trafficking, but I don't think that it's just that, Charlie. You've overcame so much with so much of stuff that you've been through in your life. I think we're more. It's more of survival stories. It's more of like some of our traumas and stuff that we face, and being able to overcome that. I think that at the end, at the foundation of who we are, is that
Yeah,
everything else is just a background.
yeah,
And I'm always saying, look, um, sacrifice, right? Put in the work, to change your life. Get the help. If it's therapy, if it's if you're suffering from addiction, um, there's help, right? Don't give up. I think that's been my thing. I've hit rock bottom many
I know.
times. There's been times even as recently that you start to doubt it, like you doubt your life or what's going on. But there's always a lesson to be learned from these, um, um, I guess, journeys or situations that we're in, or sufferings, really. And I know that you as well, you share them, especially with your book, right? Why it's okay to talk about trauma. We've talked about this together, and I think that you've taught me a lot as well, and understanding some of the trauma that I've been through. But I think that these stories, I don't like to put a genre into it, right? Where it's like, oh, this is true crime. And now I'm getting a lot of responses of like, you know, people that have been inspired, which is, to me, it's like, it's a big deal, it's a big deal because I never thought that I could inspire someone to do good, right? When I was basically the face of drug trafficker
Yeah,
in the United States, so it's you see it, and it sounds cliche, a little bit cheesier about if you could, change one person's life, but we know that, one of my decisions are still having these effects, right? Even today for the justice system, for the drug cartel world, right? So just put that in perspective, maybe not everyone's, life decisions you're going to be able to see on TV or, or read about, but um, I see it with my children each and every day, right? I think that um, that everyone, has it in them, Charlie, and to be able to come out and do something, positive. And I'm hoping that's Amanda as well, right? I'm sorry, I know her name's Amanda. For you never know, like some of the stuff that she could share for women who, her reasons why and why not. I think
yeah.
that,
It's like a cautionary tale.
yeah,
Yeah, that is
um,
something. I can't say too much, but something that I'm looking at behind the scenes. But yeah, I think, Jay, that's such a powerful way to end. So, it is, really inspirational and empowering talking to you, and, fascinating with the life that you've gone through, and where you are now. And I know a lot of people want your t-shirt. So I can imagine I'm going to be sending you a lot of messages after
Yeah,
this.
you know what? you know what? It's something I will put out there. I never, you know what? Because it's funny. I never thought about like, oh, I'm gonna sell this. I'm gonna sell that. I have a whole new design, but you know, at the end of the day, I feel like that's what I am. At the end of the day, I'm a businessman. But you know what? I do have Charlie. Before we go, you have some. I have amazing friends. People who are still following. I have a really dear friend named Solo. I just want to send my regards to him and his family, and I'm praying for him as well as for all those tuning in, my nephews and everyone out there who is living life. And I don't forget, you know how it is sometimes, Charlie, right? I want to say hi to your mom and your family, um,
Thank
as
you.
well, and to all those law enforcement officers who actually listen to a podcast and might be tuning in. Just want to thank them as well for opening the doors and just accepting me and receiving me in a good way as well.
Oh, thank you. And I know everybody appreciates that. And thank you as well to, um, is it Il Cartel who
Yeah,
is helping us host this on
yeah.
Instagram. So thank you so much. But yeah, thanks
So
very much everybody for
yeah,
joining.
so if anyone wants to do this again, just make sure you just spam Charlie.
Thanks. Spam me and we'll sort it
Spam
out.
me. Yeah, sure. Okay, thank you again,
Thanks,
Charlie.
Jay. I
It was
appreciate
nice
that.
seeing you. Okay, God bless everyone and be
God
safe.
bless.
Take care.
And
Okay.
we'll definitely do an update and we'll arrange something again soon.
Yeah,
All
that'd be
right.
great. I'm looking forward to it, Charlie.
Take care, Jay. And thanks everyone for joining us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Salute, 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 salute. All right, y'all, we got her done. Check this out. Salutes. All right, talk to me. What y'all think? I had fun in the chat. I was missing questions and shit. I was just bullshitting in the chat. Salutes. Dolo Solo said, yes, Jay introduced me to Charlie. That's your end, Dolo Solo. You know what I'm saying? Now it's on you. You ruined it, Papas. Diamond, make sure you hit that like button on the way out if you haven't done so. I appreciate you being here. Salutes to you, Diamond Hands. Edwin Lopez says, "Shy with it again as always." Salutes to you. Jay's real charming. And Aaliyah, he won you over, charmed you over. Charlie got a little crush. Salutes. Master Khalid, great show. Salutes. Joe Dirt, Il Cartel. Salutes to y'all. Charlie is amazing. No, they got a great chemistry together. I will say that those two, they have good conversations together. I haven't other than the podcast, I haven't really seen Pete's interactions with her, but this right here, this was it felt natural. It felt like the Surviving El Chapo podcast. Salutes, Diamond Hands, done. I appreciate you. Thank you. Salutes. Edwin Lopez, Sai, what's good, bro? I know you remember me. I'm always tuning in with you, bro. I appreciate you, sir. Thank you. Those shirts are gonna be a little part of history. Salutes. Shout out Young Jizzle on the check-in. Text Jay to join. Nah, I'm straight. We're gonna let him go on about his day. All right, he could jump in if he want to. He know how to do it. All right, but he ain't gonna come and show y'all his chest like he do everybody else. He not gonna give y'all the tacos under the tree story like everybody else. We on his ass today. LV said, "Shot, keep it 100." Charlie like that carne asada. She was feeling Jay. No comment. All right, I don't have nothing to. My name Bennett, and I ain't in it. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to look for no. I don't want to look for no chemistry and none of that shit as far as that concerned. Because when Val come home, she could be like, "Shot, I heard y'all was talking about how Charlie got a thing for Jay and that shit." Nah, I'm straight. All right, salutes. I'm straight. All right. I hope y'all enjoyed that. Let's go through the chat. Analia said I'm learning from him. Salutes. Charlie's amazing. Salutes, Young Jizzle. Upper Echelon said, "I'm holding your Instagram account for ransom." Back to Cartel-ish. Good luck, bruh. Good luck. Good luck. All right, you gonna put a poll up over there? All right, so y'all make sure y'all follow the Il Cartel Instagram channel. Matter of fact, let me pull that up right here. I will be switching from my personal to the Il Cartel channel. Just because the Il Cartel channel, it's got a lot more. It's already there, so I might as well use it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna drop the link in there for that. Y'all can follow the Il Cartel channel. I'll be putting up videos there as well, stuff from over here, and we're just trying to grow the channel and push the content. Salutes to everybody that was in here. If you have yet to hit the like button, please do. If you have yet to subscribe, please do. Hit the notification bell. Stay abreast of what we're doing. All right? You guys come here and you get free entertainment. The least you can do is hit that like button. You know what I'm saying? We appreciate you hitting that like button. All right? Let's go. E.G., y'all got to relax. Who got to relax? Nobody got to relax. Don't get clapped at the end of the whole show. You've been quiet the whole thing. Who got to relax? What are we relaxing about? Don't tell us to relax. Salutes. Joe Dirt, Rilo, Wedo, salutes to you. Go Bucks. Salutes. Thanks, Jay. Thanks, Charlie. I'm out. Salutes, go Bucks. Hit that button. Rilo, perfecto. I want to say some stuff, but I don't want to get Jay in trouble. Analia, on it, boy. On it. That live was alright. They're way better with you, bro. Salutes to Velez 408. I appreciate you. St. Anthony Production said, just an FYI, tell Jay his website ain't working. That's why he might not be getting work contents off of it. I'll take a look. See what's popping. Il Cartel channel. Il Cartel Instagram. Yep. Shout out Pink Panther, Serbia. Salutes. Danny Mendoza, it's a good show. Albert Flores, very genuine conversation. Yeah, like I don't know what people expect sometimes, but very genuine conversation. And again, these are two people that have, a history. They spend a lot of time talking, Kino, saludos, Shah, Charlie, and Jay, salutes. IB said, regarding putting a label on the genre, this stuff is so complex and goes into literally every aspect of life, socioeconomics, public safety, mental health, politics, the list goes on. You're absolutely correct. This is truly inspiring hearing you continue to bring light to these subjects. Salutes. Posted that in the Discord and copied it to this platform. Salutes to you, IB. I appreciate you, sir. Carne asada going down. Shout out Upper Echelon. Well done, sir. Albert Flores, salutes. Jay shouted you out. He a real one. Salutes to him for that. Ivan Levi's, Fernanda Garza. She looks good. Salute, she does. So at 4, we come back, Hey, listen, and I saw that earlier. Albert Flores was like, yeah, yo. I thought this was at 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock CST. I'm always going to put Central Standard Time. I'm on my clock. All right. So 4 o'clock for me is whatever it is for y'all. All right. My 4 o'clock been gone, and I ain't slept since 2 nights ago. So we'll see what's popping. Now we here right now though. Salutes Chunk Kicks on the check-in. What's popping? Whoop. Smart man, all business. Salutes Rilo, Shia. I love what you do. Salutes Julio Cardenas. I appreciate you. Much love to the twins and Charlie. I said Charlie. Rilo, this was amazing. Upper Echelon said it works. What works? Ivy said finally managed to follow your IG. Salutes. Upper Echelon, what works? Chuck Chigon said another dope show, brother. Salutes to you, bro. Danny Mendoza, that's right. Yeah, absolutely. Central Standard Time. All right, guys? So make sure you keep that in mind. Whenever I post something in the comment section and I give you guys a time, it's always going to be CST. You convert that into whatever your time is, set your alarm clock, and be here when the mothership gets fired up. All right, I'm going to go as far into the chat as I can and give shout-outs before we get out of here. Again, we'll probably go live again tomorrow. I'm trying new things with the channel. People are going to be upset. The loud minority is going to be upset because I will be continuing to chop down these lives that we've done over the last 3 or 4 days and putting that info out there and trying to do things to move the channel forward. Drug cartels are evil and Mexico suffers due to them. Imagine trying to pay bills and getting extorted by a boss. The sooner they get shut down, the better for the people of Mexico. I agree in many ways, but there's wrinkles, and I assume, Sid, you're in the UK. Salutes to you from the UK. But there's, I agree. Cartels, they're not for the people, right? They oppress the people, all right? But there's this whole, them getting shut down, that affects a whole lot of innocent people too. So, and it's never going to be shut down, and it's never going to stop, But I agree on certain terms, but, I guess you got to have a certain perspective to see how it ruins other things too, But I get exactly what you're saying, and I can't really get out what I'm saying. Again, I need some alpha brain. I'm on no sleep. Shy, get yourself some sleep. Thanks for all the content and connections and knowledge. Salutes to you, sir. Lo bueno, pues, the bell reminder. Hit the bell reminder. Shout out Danny Mendoza. All right? Let's see. I'm going to go through this chat. Shout out Yar. I'm going as far as I could go. Shout out Yar. Salutes to you. Shout out my brother Oso. Safe travels to you and the family. Carlos Blanco said hit that like button. Salutes to him. Salutes Jonathan Pantoja that was on Sniper Patrol early. Salutes Alfredo Beltran. Salutes Crash Out. Crash Out was on Sniper mode as well. CW was in here. Probably didn't pay him enough attention. He bounced. It's all good. Salutes. Happy birthday to my grandma. Salute St. Anthony. I appreciate you. Young Pink, I appreciate you. Philly 500 pounds. Salutes to you, sir. Rilo, appreciate you per usual. Master Khalik, salutes to you. Sid says, salute, brother. Them cartels are run by the American Intelligence Agency, so we'll never be finished. We can live in hope, brother. We can live in hope. We can live in hope, man. Salutes. And I believe part of that, a lot of that too. You know what I'm saying? These government agencies. It's another thing I need to talk to Jay about. They for themselves and only themselves. People get in your heads, there's no loyalty in their life. That's a fact. Get it in your heads, there's no loyalty in their life. All right, shout out St. Anthony. Shout out Analia, I appreciate you. Shout out LV, salutes. Shout out Zoraida, I appreciate you. Ivan Livas, Eddie Jimenez, D-Boy, Velocity Cuts. I don't know if I said Velez. Shout out Velez. Shout out LV. Bobby D, salutes to you. Albert Flores, I appreciate you. Chucky Chingon, appreciate you per usual. Put your glasses on, bro. All right, shout out Pebs. Pebs was in the building earlier. Burns, you way behind, Papa. Did Jay meet at Mayo before? Yes, sir, on many occasions. Go into our playlist. Check out our exclusives. Check out the Surviving El Chapo podcast. Check out Cartel Wives. Check out Cartel Chronicles. It's all in those playlists, man. We got a lot of stuff. I'll drop them playlists for you right here in the chat. Right? Boom. Surviving El Chapo and Cartel Wives right here.
Live Undead just subscribed on YouTube.
Shout out to Live Undead for the subscription. I appreciate you. Boom. We just dropped 2 playlists, Surviving El Chapo and Cartel Wives. And I will drop the Flores Twins exclusives that are on our channel. All right? And you can catch up. And they answer maybe a lot of questions that you have that y'all would ask me in the chat. But we've already answered those. Salutes. Again, Pebs is over there. Salutes to her. Xavier Martinez. Albert Flores. Again, salutes to the new subscriber. Multi Warrior. Multi Warrior said, I fell asleep during the live yesterday. It was a long live, almost 6 hours. He said, I woke up and thought I was fighting someone. It was Shy. Salutes. Shy going at it with LB. No, we good. Well, LB cool. He we good. His mic ain't acting up, Analia. That's a fact. His mic was all good over there, huh? Shout out Crash Out. Shout out Graffiti Life. I appreciate you. Diamonds. I appreciate you. Mob. Salutes. Sabino. AC. Appreciate you. Mo Love. Sandoval. Salutes to you. Jay Aguilar. Salutes to you. Bay Area Bosses. Chris Burns. What else we got here? Pink Panthers, Lutz, Victor Islas. You didn't say nothing. You came in here, laughed at your own joke. What else we got here? EG, I don't know what EG was talking about at the end. You wildin'. I don't know what you're talking about. Blah, blah, blah. Shout out Peter for the $9.99 super sticker. I appreciate you, sir. Thank you. I appreciate your dono. And Mayo is really in bad health now. Yeah, I don't doubt it, brother. Hold on, let me get back to up here. Where we at? Shout out Go Bucks, Wedo. I shouted y'all out. Young Jizzle, Julio Cardenas. Shout out Peter for the $9.99 super sticker. I appreciate you. Shout out Adrian Torres. Salute Shy. Checking in from Cali. Salutes to you, sir. Right? Salutes Peter. Salutes Think Like a Kingpin for checking in earlier. Salutes Peter, the one and only. Been here in silence. Had y'all in the AirPods at work. Salutes. Get that bag. Jay said, can we ask Jay about his brother in Texas and their wives stashing money or something he can't talk about? We've talked about these things. So make sure you, as a matter of fact, let me drop these playlists over here for you too. He's answered a lot of this stuff. Here's the Il Cartel. The Twins and Wrong to Strong interview needs to happen. Yeah, yeah, on his channel. I can see that happening. They've been here on this channel together before. Shout out Vernon Himes. Appreciate you, Vernon. Catch the playback. I'm going to leave it up for a while before I go members only. Here's the Flores Twins playlist. And here is Surviving on Chapo and Cartel Wives. A lot of your questions can be answered there. Jay, so salutes. I appreciate you. Let me go down the other side in the vertical over here. Where is El Mencho, bro? Is he dead? We don't know. We don't know. We don't know if he's the guy in charge or not. But we'll have our ear open. If you find out, come and let us know. Make sure y'all hit the like button, y'all. Salutes. Shout out 030 North. Ivan Livas on this side. Christopher Barajas on this side. Hugo Alvarez. Tyler Johnson. Miguel Lopez. Appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? Anybody needs some church? You got some church tonight on the south side? Just holler at Miguel Lopez. Hugo Alvarez. Salutes. Zorada. Johan. Ryan Munguia, salutes to you. JR420. Pebs, salutes Pebs. Jay, salutes to you. Graffiti Life, salutes to you. Fernando, I appreciate you, sir. Danny Mendoza, appreciate you. Chris Burns. Cifuentes said, no lie, I listen to Surviving on Chapo every day at work. Get after it, son. I hope you're listening to our versions of it. Appreciate you. Shout out Frank Farias. Shout out Cortez. Shout out Big Body. IB, I appreciate you, sir. Fernando, I appreciate you, sir. Johnny Silver, salutes. Albert Flores, I appreciate you. Dolo Solo, now's your chance. Shout out Upper Echelon. Shout out Aquino on the check-in. Fernando Garza, appreciate you. Sid, salutes to you for coming through. All right, reach the bottom. EG said on Shy Ill channel, but I look for the one you did. Salutes. Oh, on Shy Ill channel? No, yeah, they've done one here before. Yeah, we've had Wrong the Strong, Damian Cash, and Jay on all at the same time. So salutes. Salutes to them for giving their time. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate the donos. I appreciate the likes. I appreciate the new subscribers. You know, the best you can do for this channel is hit that like button. If you can't do anything else, and I appreciate that. To those that just ghost watch, I guess I could thank you for the view, but it's you know, it's hard for me to you know, for it to matter if you don't at least hit that like button. It don't cost you a thing. It's something inside you that keep you from hitting it. So salutes. It is what it is. All right. I appreciate y'all. Y'all have a great day. We're gonna go out the same way we came in. And that's gonna be it for me for today. All right. I'll probably drop part 3 of the bad audio stuff, so everybody can complain about that later. And but it's gonna be there. And then I'm gonna start cutting the stuff we did the next day. All right, when we were on StreamYard with the panel and all of that, I'm gonna start cutting that stuff. Who knows if I get sleep? I'll probably just get to cutting. But salutes to y'all. Y'all have a great day, and you know, drive safely. To everybody that's on the road, may you reach your destination in good health, and may you get back home in good health. All right, and I appreciate y'all for checking in. So salutes to y'all. Peace.
Running away, no one is there, no one to save us, nothing to spare. How can I change what? We landed here. It's not the same sun, this is despair. One of us came up, none of us cared. They want to change up, life isn't fair. It's how we made, huh? Now you aware. It's why you fear us, this why you scared. They over the hilltop, I see them right there. They'll wait for the kill shot, they'll sit and they'll stare. If we got a real shot for us, it's up there. We're hopeless if we stop, they'll kill us right here. Living in death's den, run through the best winds, storming the front gates. Whatever gets us in, whatever gets us over, whatever helps us win, whatever we must do. Rescuing our kids, as long as they get through it, don't matter if we live. God chose to bless you, I'll take all that death gives. I'm into this war ends, in memory of dead friends, in hope of a new way when all of this death ends. Who can we call on? It's me and it's all y'all. We're here by our lonesome, nobody to fall on. Flesh in the dirt, fire to ashes. Fate getting closer every moment that passes. Running away, no one is there, no one to save us, nothing to spare. How can I change what? We landed here, it's not the same sun, this is despair. One of us came up, none of us cared. They want to change up, life isn't fair. It's how we made, huh? Now you aware. It's why you fear us, this why you scared. Show me a safe place, does it exist? It must be a wasteland where nobody lives, that nobody knows of, where nobody's been. Where we at is warfare every time you can get. What you can't get is real love and fucking respect. Set up for failure, a life of neglect. If none of us stand up, we'll live with regrets. If we rise, we might die, I call that a good death. What would I live for if I am oppressed? How can I raise up with the world on my chest? Who's gonna save us if you and I rest? They shoot us in cold blood when under arrest. Lock us in cold cells, consider it home now. Cut off from emotion, our feelings are stone now. Our buildings are blown out, the madness is so loud. It's dark and there's no sound, we gotta go now. Running away, no one is there, no one to save us, nothing to spare. How can I change what? We landed here, it's not the same sun, this is despair. One of us came up, none of us cared. They want to change up, life isn't fair. It's how we made, huh? Now you aware. It's why you fear us, this why you scared. The illness is prevalent, natives malevolent. Hunger, starvation now, no hope for a heaven sent. Kiss the babies goodbye, say I love you to wives. Grab your weapons, get your steps in, we gon' ride when it rise. The sun mean what when it's blinding your eyes? Put the wind to your back, leave them facing the sky. Put the pain in the dirt, raise your bloody fist high. Use your brain, do the work, strategize and survive. The rush of the dust up, the thrill of the gun buzz. The satisfaction of our reaction when there's no one to help us. The spoils of war, the hunger for more. The passion of how we smash it, what we hate through the floor. The rage, the loneliness of dead on the page. To cleanse this land, gotta burn more than just sage. Crush the cage, body and soul unafraid. Kill them all and set them ablaze. No running away, no one is there, no one to save us, nothing to spare. How can I change what? We landed here, it's not the same sun, this is despair. One of us came up, none of us cared. They want to change up, life isn't fair. It's how we made, huh? Now you aware. It's why you fear us, this why you scared. Is that you won, you push yourself to your purpose, you persevere through the slums, maneuver smooth through the hustle, you careful making your runs, everyone packing pistols, stay safely behind your gun, make sure you got your own back, them busters run, don't end up doing long time, cause busters some, looks like loyalty's a thing of the past, and these gangster flicks and rap vids got y'all gas, so when the lead start flying, my guess is that's your ass, death will let no man pass, my circle is small and for the living, the strong and unforgiving, no nonsense, the driven, each one obsessed with winning. Settle for less is bullshit, I want it all. Take yours, cut it all up and give to the poor. Sit back, watch the fireworks and witness the war. At the day's end, I want more. At the end of the day, when it all goes away, nothing left to see here, nothing else to say. When the cloud goes up, put the playlist on, let the sound go up. For the drama, you ain't got no beef, and I ain't got no time, cause I don't get no sleep, and I don't need help, only I can do me, and I'ma be fine, cause I wasn't born weak, see the world ain't mine, cause I wasn't born meek, but I walk this planet for the things that I seek, I suffer in the gutter, push my being to the brink, create what wasn't wasn't there. Bring life to what I think, blow my cloud in the air, keep my consciousness in sync. My instincts well aware, prepared to throw the kitchen sink. Keep fighting till it's finished, till the whole shit sink. Till I hit rock bottom, bounce back and reach peak. Back in my proper placement, ready for shit I'm facing. Still feeling alive, cause my heart's still racing. My mind's still moving towards the peace I'm chasing. Tomorrow's not promised, so motherfuck patience. At the end of the day, when it all goes away, nothing left to see here, nothing else to say. The cloud goes up, the playlist on, let the sound go out. Till the clouds show up, when the cloud come down, put it right back up and fly. Put the cloud back up and fly. Put it right back up and fly. The blunt side roll, lift the cloud off my soul. It helped me understand exactly where I'm supposed to go. Help me make a stand, know what I'm supposed to know. See through the facade, try to let my anger go. Life goes on, another show, another town, some other clowns, some other hoes. But the only thing that matters waiting on me back at home. Legacy building in the midst of menacing villains, murdering children like the killings becoming thrilling. The rush of bloodlust, women, baby, civilians. Land gon' become sand from all the graves that they filling. Bodies in the lake, other shake on the sidewalk. Yellow crime tape, nothing fake, no outline chalk. Just a kid meeting his fate, knowing his time